Welcome to Transforming the Trades, the podcast where we empower you to take charge and innovate your business. Whether you're a plumber, electrician, or any other trade professional, this show is designed to give you the tools and strategies you need to succeed. Sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and get ready to take your business to the next level with Transforming the Trades. Hey, Kelsey, thanks for joining us today.
Pleasure.
So I'd like to kick this off today and have you introduce yourself. Who is your company and what do you do?
Sure. My name is Kelsea Eckert. I've been an attorney for 35 years. We have a law firm in the Jacksonville, Florida area called Eckert Associates, and we do downtime claims for commercial vehicles, small businesses nationwide. So when a vehicle has been in an accident, a lot of times the other side isn't willing to or doesn't understand how to pay all that lost profit of that vehicle while it's down. So that's what we do. We help small businesses go after their downtime of their downed equipment.
So I recently learned about you through a colleague, and I was not aware that there was such a thing as down claims for commercial vehicles or vehicles that are revenue producing. So you educated me. And, part of my objective for my audience is to one, looking at new resources that can either make them money or reduce their cost or absolutely change the way they may do business. And so, why I wanted you to be on our show today is because this is very interesting. We're accountants, we do bookkeeping. So, we see a lot of uh, write offs of vehicles that have been in accidents. So, they're totaled, if you will. And just learning about this was very interesting to me because I believe that we have situations and scenarios in our industry, like any other commercial industry, where this makes sense and has it's applicable. So I'd like to ask you to explain a little bit more. Let's talk about a plumbing truck. Let's start with a plumbing company or an HVAC company. You're well aware that they have a lot of investment in vans that are typically stocked, have special bins in them. They've got commercial wrapping on them. They may have special equipment. So let's kind of start there and talk about where this has an applicability for them if it were to arise in their business.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great example. So, with this, we'll say Joe, he has a plumbing business and he has this one truck and it is fully decked out with everything he needs for plumbing. Someone comes along, let's say it's a car and they are insured by Geico. So, this car hits his equipment and he is now down due to COVID and the remaining effects of that with the difficulty in getting parts and various things. This equipment's going to be down for the next 2 months. So Joe calls Geico and says, I need you not only to fix my truck, but to pay me for all my lost income for these 2 months. And Geico says, oh, we don't pay that. And we, if you go get a van, maybe we'll pay for a rental of a regular van. This doesn't make any sense to Joe because a regular van isn't going to do a thing for him. He's got all of his equipment that he needs. This is a business on wheels, and you just can't go rent a car, truck, or whatever and recreate that. Ryder and Penske don't have this type of equipment. There's nobody that's going to have everything that Joe needs to function. And so oftentimes Geico will go ahead and if they accept liability for the repairs, they'll go ahead and fix those. But I want your listeners to know that they have rights. They have rights in almost every state to go after their lost income for this period of time. And if they don't do it, they're just throwing money away.
So they, based on the insurance laws and the ability to have claims in states, you absolutely may be able to recover or recoup lost revenue from a vehicle that is not operable because it has been in an accident or totaled or whatever. What does what as a business, what do I have prepared in order to submit a claim like that? What is it that I need to provide?
So a lot of insurance companies, they say industry standard is 90 days before the accident. If you cannot come up with actual losses. So the most ideal is knowing the exact loads that were missed or the exact loss. So if you were on a particular job where this equipment, you knew it was going to make $30,000 over the next month, that's the job you submit. That's the actual loss. But most folks out there don't know where they're going to be from day to day with their equipment, and so you're going to have to do a look back and create some kind of reasonable average on what that equipment was making. The trick becomes, the more equipment you have, the more the other side is gonna say, "Well, you should have just gone and used another truck." But I don't know many people out there that just have an extra truck sitting around waiting on an accident to happen so that they can use the spare truck. These pieces of equipment are expensive, and they are utilized, all day, every
So
day.
let's qualify equipment, all right, for a second. So you keep referencing equipment. If I have a van and it has bins in it and it carries inventory that is necessary for the work that I perform on a daily basis to generate revenue. To include, it
Mhm,
might have inventory on it. Um, it also, it may not have any particular special equipment. It might have some special wrenches, some special, you know, tools, but not
mhm,
necessarily a special piece of equipment. What comes to mind in my thinking is like a sewer machine, a drain machine.
mhm,
Um, if I
mhm.
didn't have that equipment on it, do I still have the ability to claim a loss of revenue?
The answer is typically
Okay.
yes. And so it's a varying from one end of the spectrum to the other, on what equipment can be rented, or can you get other equipment from your warehouse and put it in the new truck. You have to show, as the business owner, that you mitigated your losses. You are trying to make your losses as small as possible. So you have to show, even though you're the victim of this accident, you have to show that you were out there moving and grooving and trying to get your business back going again. So can't, sit on the couch eating bonbons, waiting for life to happen, waiting for Geico to pay this claim, because most of the time they're going to turn it around back on you for mitigation.
Well, and most of the time at least in my awareness of what's on vans in these repair companies is inventory and parts and things like that that could easily be transferred from one vehicle to the next. So that
Mhm.
probably would be suspect. If they had special equipment though that was necessary, that was disabled during this unfortunate accident, that would be the most likely that they would have a claim. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So if we could get a rental, then if they were a client of ours, we would just go after that rental cost
Okay.
of the truck.
Okay. And then another one would be I think of some of our companies have duct cleaning trucks. So they have special equipment. That's definitely a specialized truck. We have
Right.
clients who have trenchless equipment that is used for underground boring to do drain replacement, things of that sort. Those are all things that would be definitely looked at for a claims purpose.
For
Okay,
sure.
and if
For
that were
sure.
the case, and that was if I did that's all I did was ductless cleaning, let's just say. That's easy to say, this is the revenue associated with that truck over the last at least in most cases that I work with, that kind of job history lives in their scheduling software. So they have job types, they know what assignment was assigned to the truck and things like that. So that
Mhm.
is part of what they would have to produce, have available. All the more reason to stay consistent with how you record your jobs, how you understand the revenue associated with particular jobs, or I should say technicians and trucks, so that if you were in a situation and you needed to have that kind of data to support a claim, then you're prepared. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yes. We have to have supporting income from just that one truck.
I got it.
So,
But
yeah.
the thing that I also see, so in some cases, um, that truck also might do other types of work besides what was just tied to a special piece of equipment. It could or it could
Mhm.
not. So then even if that were the case, then if I did have a dual role or multiple role, they would focus in on loss of revenue associated with that particular equipment that was on that truck that could no longer operate for that time period.
Sometimes a client can rent a lesser type vehicle and still do work, but it's going to be a lesser income for that. And so we just do the difference of income is the
So
loss.
now I have a couple of questions. Are there any particular states that are more uh, or harder to work through these types of cases than others? What are those states?
Well, one that comes to mind is Michigan. And just so you're aware, I'm not licensed in Michigan. I'm licensed in Florida and Illinois. We do collection work and we do this negotiation all over the country. If we have to go to litigation, then we partner with local counsel in that
Got
state.
it.
So with that said, this is not legal advice.
Yeah.
But as far as Michigan goes, Michigan's a tough state because if you are hit on a roadway, there's a mini tort law that only allows for 1,000 of collection. And so you could have $1 million loss and you're only going to collect potentially a
Right.
$1,000. And so that's tough. Some of the states have different rules if the equipment is repairable versus totaled. Georgia's kind of tough when it comes to totaled equipment. Texas used to be tough for that, but they changed their law a few years ago. So now you can have downtime whether equipment is totaled or repairable. And so, there are other states where, if you are 1 or 2% at fault for something, you might not be able to collect anything. Those are tough states as well. But by and large, if the other side agrees to liability, then in most states, you're able to go after at least a reasonable amount of loss of use or rental and those type of things.
Right, and so then
Yeah.
due process on the liability. If there was an accident, you'd have to report it to the local law enforcement. Law enforcement would come out, record that it actually took place. Is that the kind of evidence that would
Most
yeah.
That would be great. Dash cams are
Dash
great.
cams,
Witnesses are
GPS
great.
equipment probably helps, yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Just so your listeners know, there's 2 steps to every case. The first step is proving liability, proving that the other side is at fault. Once you get past that step, you move on to damages, how much you're out for the repairs, for the downtime, for the diminished value, for all that. And so if you cannot prove liability, if you can't get past step number 1, again, you could have $1 million in losses, but you're not going to get
right,
anything.
right. No, I get it. So step 1, you gotta prove liability. So be things such as dash cams,
Hmm.
GPS on the trucks. Law
Don't
enforcement
trust.
arriving on the
Yeah,
scene, if that's applicable.
right.
So all that is very relevant to follow the process. Do should companies have a policy in their employee handbook for this kind of scenario?
They should have something in their dash that they can, if they're in an accident, they can pull out step 1, step 2, step 3. There's absolutely steps to do every time there's an accident. There's a couple articles on our website, downtimeclaims.com, if someone wanted to look for those steps. But, I would say first, of course, there's the safety. Don't get out of the vehicle if it's a safety issue, but you definitely want to document, you want to call for law enforcement. A lot of places, if it's in truck stop or private property, they won't come out.
Right. Right.
Uh, and so photos or and video is very good. Sometimes we'll have clients that only zero in their camera on the dent itself, but we need to see the whole scene so that we can see exactly what happened in this. Photos are cheap these days. You got
Videos are
got
cheap
one on
these
your
days. Videos and photos
videos
are
are
real
cheap.
cheap. Yeah, exactly.
And if there's dash cam, make sure to secure that dash cam because it'll override itself and all that.
Well, but, the
So,
fact that everybody has that handy dandy camera in their pocket that they talk on,
mhm,
that is, that's really a relevant point. And the industry that we serve, they use their cameras for job photos and all of that all the time. So they're really accustomed to having that as a tool for their job. So, but I think the
yes.
tip here is in the dash of the truck or vehicle, you should have some written instruction on how and what to do if you are in an accident. Yeah, but
Mhm,
that
mhm.
also should be trained in employee training and reviewed, and everybody always reminded, don't want it to happen. In case it does happen, these are the things that you need to know where it's at and who to contact and things of that sort. That I
Mhm.
think is a great
Absolutely.
tip. I mean, these are the things that we don't think about. We procrastinate the things that are typically not likely in our business, but it sure is. And
Yeah,
I've been in this a long time, and in the time I've been in it, I know of 2 catastrophic things that happen. Just happens, and I have
yeah.
lots of clients, who have, at one point or another, lost a vehicle in operation due to an accident. And
Mhm,
so,
mhm.
knowing this is just valuable information in my mind. Now, how many of your type of counsel are there in the country? Are there a handful? Are you
It's very, very rare,
very rare?
very
Okay.
rare. And for attorneys to do this nationwide, even rarer. We have about 14, 15 folks here, and we really enjoy this industry. We enjoy helping the people that, might not have attorneys otherwise because we get calls every day. They've called 20, 30 different law firms, and no one will take their case. A lot of the folks, they see the billboards and think, okay, that's the attorney that's going to help me. It says big truck attorney. Well, no, they want to sue the big
Right,
trucks,
right, right.
not
Yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly.
so. So we're on the little guy's side, and we're really proud of it that
Awesome.
we can.
Well, so here's my message to my audience. If you've got a specialty truck, things that come to mind, there's plenty others out there that I can think of. If you are in the septic business, if you're in restoration and mediation, if you have equipment that is attached to a van or a truck, duct cleaning equipment, trenchless equipment, things of that sort that it's styled for that. This is important information that you need to keep handy in case you need it. So, Kelsey, do me a favor. Tell everybody how to reach you.
It's fairly easy. 1-800 downtime, and our website is downtimeclaims.com. We're happy to connect with you on Facebook and other kinds of media, and we send out tips and tricks once a month or so, and entertaining items. So we try to keep it light. If there's anyone in your listeners who might be interested in doing a blog for us on something that is very interesting, they believe, to the industry, we love to do what's called a blog swap. So I'm happy to write for their company, and they can write for our company because I'm sure our clients would like to hear more than just about downtime.
They do,
So,
and we have a great industry with a lot of, professional coaches, and that could very well be where you could entertain that swap.
mhm,
Well, I
mhm.
appreciate your time today. Thanks for being a guest. I think this is valuable information that we all need to stick in our back pocket. Go to downtimeclaims.com. Check it out, especially look at some of the articles that they have posted. You might have some things there that are very interesting and could help you in your business. All right, Kelsey, thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you for tuning in to Transforming the Trades. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and gained some valuable insights and tips for your trade business. If you found this podcast helpful, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to check out our website where you can find additional resources and information to help you grow your business. Until next time, keep innovating and take charge of your success.